Wake up! And those people on a bicycle. Next. This is Eagles Morning Rise, where you get inspired, updated, talk sports, and discuss topical national issues, all served hot, like coffee.
Yummy.
Eagles Morning Rise with
Nacho Prince.
6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Every weekday on your number one radio experience. You can count on Eagles 102.3 FM.
And it's 15 minutes taken out of 9 o'clock. Today is the 1st of June, 2022. And while a lot of you may be eating yourself up and thinking, oh, this year, the things I plan to achieve and all of that hasn't come through, I'm just asking you, how you've been surviving? Because, yes, that's a question that a lot of Nigerians need to answer. Have you been surviving? Because if you look at things, and a lot of people have just been surviving each day, going by and getting by each day. I love to ask, how you been surviving? Looking at things, the way that things are playing out, there's almost, like I said before, people describe, living in this country as an extreme sport, and to a large extent, you can't blame them because everywhere you turn is one, issue or the other, one form of trouble or the other. Insecurity biting hard. People are afraid to sleep at night. I was just reading about a lady whose father was attacked in their house by a domestic staff with an axe. An old man. All for what? Because people are looking for money. People can no longer trust each other. You have people in your house who live with you who could turn against you because they feel like life is better for you and they can steal from you. So it's not even about Boko Haram. It's not about the bandits or kidnappers and all that. It's even about people who live with you because, well, they also think that life is difficult for them, so much so that, they can take from you or hurt you just so they can get from you. Everywhere you turn, people cheating people. You can't even trust a business partner. You can't go to the market and not feel sad because of the level of inflation. Things are going up by the moment, almost every single day. We're talking about the cost of, basic stuff like bread, eggs. Reading a story this morning, it just got me. Like, a lot of Nigerians may have even forgotten what it feels like to eat eggs, which is like a basic thing where people are source of protein. This is something that people used to buy for like 20 naira, 15 naira, 25 naira, 30 naira. Today sells for between 80 and 100 naira. Just one. So a family of 5, for instance, how many eggs would you buy to feed a family of 5? Considering the minimum wage, 30,000 naira. The people who live below minimum wage. So when you convert your salary, when you convert your salary to dollars, seeing as how $1 is about 600 naira today. When you convert your salary, how much do you get in a month? Break that down, divide that by a single day. How much do you spend out? How much do you, spend in a day? When you convert that to a dollar, is it up to $1? Because I know people who survive way below 300 naira a day. So if you're surviving below 300 naira a day, it means that you are below poverty line. Because that's what they define it to be, right? $1, if you live below $1 a day, it means that you're living below the poverty line. You are poor, which would mean that the people who lots of people consider as middle class or average citizens are no longer average citizens. They may be poor, because if before now you used to survive at $1 or a little above $1 a day, at this point, as an individual, do you still survive, at that level? Yeah, someone would say, well, maybe I'm still above $1. But people are afraid that maybe before the end of this year, $1 would get to 1,000 naira. Would you still be able to say that you are not poor? That would mean that the number of poor people in this country would go above the 100 million that estimated. How are you surviving Nigeria? As it was in strike, students are at home. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. Hello, good morning.
Very good morning to you once again, my friend.
Good morning, Ayomide. How are you, sir?
Yeah, my friend. Fine. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, the topic you brought this morning, God will continue to increase you, increase your knowledge. In fact,
Amen.
I have been meaning to discuss about this topic for a while now. Even I wanted to write something about it. Because we said we are living at the, let's say, the middle class of people in Nigeria. Even we now, there are things that is too expensive for us to avoid in the market. When my friend, to share with you, even the level of the electricity, in fact, is something else in this country. The Buhari day where I'm living, in fact, the cost of living in Buhari now, there's no way you could get a house. Normally, when we get to Buhari day, there's a place where you can get a house, there's a way you can get a house of a room for like 20-something thousand or something thousand. A room, formally. But now, go and see. Even a Moji house. It's not even a block house. Because why I have to say, I wanted to get a room for someone like a brother. In fact, it was something else. We have to walk around. There's no way you can get it. Now, cost of living. Ordinary biscuits that we purchase for our children to go to school is not what taught us to write home about. That's why I said I took my children to school even early in the morning today, every day now. To get a biscuit, in fact, is something else. Just talking about rice. A module of rice in the market now is 1,500 naira. A module of rice. Where are we going in this country? Now, egg, and the children love eating eggs. To purchase our egg now is 100 naira per one. Where are we going in this country? Let me be clear with you. My salary is no more enough for me to feed myself, my family, and to even try to fuel my car to office every month again. It's something else. We are just living. When I calculate the cost of what I spend, my expenditure, and my income, please, my income is not enough for my expenditure. I can't see it, because after everything, every month, you discover you are left with nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. God should come and intervene in this thing. It's getting too much. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Ayomide. God bless you for sharing that with us. And that's the reality for most Nigerians. Look, a lot of Nigerians are living off debts. From paycheck to paycheck. Before the paycheck comes, they've borrowed monies from loan sharks, borrowed monies from friends and colleagues, and when the salary comes, they're paying back all that loan, and they're left with nothing because, well, salaries are not enough. You convert, say a person who earns 200,000 naira, for instance, when you make the conversion, when you convert that I don't know why I want to do all that conversion to dollars, but it's not necessary. It may not be necessary, but then what is 200,000 naira? What does a 200,000 naira salary do? That's for people who earn up to 200,000 naira. Most of the employed, which is why we talk about, underemployment. Most people are underemployed in this country, and so they're earning way below what they should be earning. Okay, averagely 50, 60, 70,000 naira a month, and at the end of the day, these people have to transport. Transport is something else. They have to pay transportation to get to work, and it's really biting. Now, to the part that's most worrisome for the Nigerian nation, the Nigerian economy, is the IMF projection that by 2026, Nigeria's revenue, 100% of Nigeria's revenue would be used in debt servicing. Now, let's put that in perspective. Say, for instance, as a household, maybe dad borrows money, right? Dad borrows money, and then not to pay the debt now, just to service the interest and all that stuff, just to service the loan. Everybody in the house has to work, and when they work, all the monies that everybody has worked for would be used in servicing the loan that daddy collected. I don't know if you understand that, right? So it means that there's probably going to be nothing aside from the internally generated revenue, right, that's going to be left to work to make Nigerians, or to do infrastructure, to even maybe pay salaries. It's worrisome. I mean, it's quite disturbing. Also, there's a projection that by the end of this year, subsidy would have got up to 6 trillion naira. Brings me to ask, shouldn't we just remove this subsidy once and for all and forget and just deal with it once and for all? In all fairness, Nigeria is not the only country that's going through, this level of inflation. There's a global inflation. In the UK, cost of things are going up. In the US, everywhere in the world. In Europe, America, there's a rise in inflation. But we have always dealt with serious inflation. So what's going to happen to us? People have said, we're dealing with a stagflation. And we're worried that we do not have another recession or even the depression. All of that Nigerians have to deal with. How many of us can continue to cope and survive like this? We're talking about surviving Nigeria. Let me know, Ian, on your thoughts. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766 once and for all. Lots of people have argued to say the majority of Nigerians don't use fuel. All right, and you look at it. The people in the villages, the poor people, farmers and all of that, how much fuel do they need? If we're able to remove subsidy, the majority of Nigerians may not be affected. Yes, but we care about, the many people or many other Nigerians who use fuel. So what? Why can we have public mass transportation fixed? So that a lot of people can park their cars if they don't have to drive. If you don't have the money to afford fuel, you probably park your car and use, public transport, use the trains, use commercial buses and all that stuff. But we're not there. What do we do? How do we go about surviving Nigeria? I'll bring in this caller. Hello, good morning. Oh, okay. Call me back. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. How do you feel when you get to the market or you get to the store? I've been talking about this. When you get to the store with several thousand, or a few thousand naira, and then you go there, and you come out feeling even sad or disappointed or angry because you look at what you bought and how much you spent, and it doesn't make sense. You spend, say, 40,000, 30,000 naira buying groceries and household stuff. But then when you leave the store and check on what you bought, it doesn't really make sense because all that money was spent on only a few things. What's the future of this country? Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Daddy Joe. It's good to have you.
Yes, how was the weekend?
Oh, it was good. My week is good.
Happy New Month to you.
I wish you the same, sir. Good to have you.
Yeah, you started by saying that how do we survive in this country called Nigeria? It's a question that I'm sure over 70% of Nigerians today will say they are just believing God for their existence. We've now resorted to prayer. All right? While growing up those days, I don't think you hardly know your state governor or even who is even in charge of the nation because things are moving on fine. But today things are so bad, that's why everybody is looking at the president, Buhari, and all that. Now, Mr. Hannah, let me ask you. If If one single individual can steal up to 80 billion naira, 40 billion, 25 billion, you are not hearing about 250 billion, and some of these people are governors. How do you expect things to go well in this country? Then you are talking about the subsidy for petroleum in the next 3-4 years or something, going to trillions of naira. Then you ask yourself, where are these people getting this billion they are stealing from? If Nigeria is subsidizing that amount of money. But again, you hear this amount of money that this person took this and took that. You will never hear whether that money has been recovered and brought back into the treasury. Even if it is done, it is being looted again and looted and looted and looted again. So the only thing I want to advocate for this nation called Nigeria is to look for a way better than what we call this democracy. It is working for other people, but it is not working for us. Now look at the person that came out for PDP primaries again. Atiku, the same old names we have been seeing. APC will not be better off. They will still bring out the same old names. And this thing will continue. But what I'm trying to say in essence, by and large, is that look, we really have to sit down and see how things will go on better in this country by changing our narrative concerning governance. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Daddy Joe. The conversation continues. Keep up with us.
Eagles 102.3.
It's travel time. 3 lucky people stand a chance to win a trip to Kenya in the Techno Nigerian Idol Winner Trip promo. Buy the Techno Camon 18 or Phantom X smartphones and travel on an all-expense-paid trip with the winner of the Nigerian Idol Season 7. Also, get discounts of up to 10,000 naira on select Techno smartphones and gifts upon purchase. Promo runs till 5th of June. Visit at Techno Mobile NG on social media for more info. T's and C's apply. Techno, stop at nothing.
More 90s on Eagles 102.3 FM.
Let's spice up your day. Tune into a breath of fresh air. It's all fun and games until it gets extra and better. 102.3 Extra, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with Oli J. Cheers to something new.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just 15,000 naira? Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. The Entrepreneur. Talk your business for just 15,000 naira. This promo runs from May 1st to July 30th. Hurry now.
Eagles Morning Rise. Eagles Morning Rise with
Natural Prince.
You're on to Eagles Outlook on your radio experience. You can count on this first day in June 2022. By the way, if I didn't say Happy New Month again to you. All right, so we're talking this morning surviving Nigeria. How are you surviving Nigeria? How can we survive in the next few months, the next few years? How can we survive as a nation?
And I am dead into politics. One key requirement is let's avoid hypocrisy and let's do this thing honestly, approximate the market rate. Try and get the government on the cheap, you end up with a cheap government and you'll be sorry for yourselves. First job of a government is to equalize opportunities, right? Not equalize. Vote in jokers, cranks, weak men, charlatans with some gift of the gab. You run a very serious risk of losing everything you have. Your future really depends on what you make of it. The government can give you that framework, can give expression to the will of a people, but the people must have their will. If you don't have it, there's nothing a government can do.
And that's it. Surviving Nigeria would mean selecting the right leaders for us, selecting the people, or electing leaders that, care about the people and know what is right for us, and would do what Nigerians require of them and not serving independent interests. As we head to 2023, you would know that the conversation would always go about that. Why can't we have people who understand the workings of economy and global economics? Why don't we have people who understand what it takes to make the economy work, rather than just have people who know how to throw dollars around? We've been talking about this. One of the, presidential candidates have mentioned that Nigerians should have no business spending dollars in Nigeria. I mean, where else do you go and people abandon their national currency and are spending the currency of another country? Isn't that an aberration? Isn't that just totally, the reverse of what it should be? Say, for instance, you go to, and I'm going to pay you 10,000 naira. Does it happen? But no, that's not what, it happens here. Nigerian naira is relegated back to the background, made useless, practically useless, because some people are spending dollars instead of the Nigerian national currency. Manufacturers who need the dollars to do business can't get it. I mean, they need dollars for foreign exchange they need foreign exchange to buy raw materials and inputs, and they can't get it because, well, the dollars are in the hands of other individuals who have no business having dollars or spending dollars. So for a farmer, for instance, people who import agro-allied products, they're looking for monies to buy these products. They're looking for foreign exchange to buy these products, but they don't have. Of Singapore has been criticized, yes, for many other things, but then he was resolute. Nigeria would mean electing a leader who's resolute and concerned about the people of Nigeria, and not the few whose interest is placed above national interest. That person can be from any part of this country. I don't care. That person can be from the northwest, east, or south. That person could be benefit and not serve the interest of only a few individuals in government or highly placed individuals. And that person is good for us, irrespective of their ethnicity or religion. Join me, let's talk 09073530044 and 0908766. Dealing with a lot of things and the failure of leadership. Well, we keep saying that, we refer so much to the president and the president and the president, but that's not the only leader that we have in this country. A lot of times, the problems that we have lies with the governors, the senators, rep members, state house of assembly members. Some of the times, those people are the problems, the real problems that we have. Because if a state governor takes away the power of the local government to, serve the grassroots, the lowest level of government that stays in touch with the people most, the ordinary people have been left out of Nigeria. Morgan Amanda, thank you very much. And well, it's not like Nigeria has been better, or Nigeria was better, way better before 2015. We could get better. We could actually get to a point where people would not be stealing Nigeria's resources, Nigeria's wealth, and taking them to other countries to develop those other countries while Nigerians continue to suffer. Look how much has been repatriated in this country in the last 7 years. Yet,
Yeah, Mr. Senator.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, is Daddy Joe calling back, please?
Yes, sir.
I want to believe that, and I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will share the same thought with me, that the moment we started with this democracy thing during the days of MPN, MPP, PRP, and those days, that was when we started having problems in this country. I think the area where we spend so much money on governance is just too much. Look at members of Reps, Senate, and the rest. For each fellow there, such a person has over 30 people on their payroll. Then look at the fleet of vehicles assigned to only one individual. And then talk about their expensive, trips overseas, medical bills, and things like that for just one individual. And are spending. You definitely get to understand that there is no way we can get good infrastructure in this nation if we don't cut down these costs. Change the way things are going on. You discover that we'll be talking over and over and over again for years to look. I'm going to just fix the roads and then get power supply, then get things going on. But you don't have power. The roads are so bad. People are so helpless. Like the other person you read his text, you heard what he said, the grace of God. And that's what I said the first time I called. There is nothing we can do as individuals now. As Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians are totally helpless apart from God helping us. And I think our leaders should please help Nigerians. Thank you.
Thank you again, Daddy Joe, for calling back. And, well, the grace of God cannot buy us anything. The grace of God, you can't take the grace of God to a store and say, I'm gay, rice, give me that. It is high time Nigerians realize that it behooves you as an individual to change the course of things. Put aside your sentiment. Put aside all these sentiments that divide us. Put aside all of the... Because the truth is we all have the same... It doesn't ask if you're a Christian or Muslim if there's power outage. They don't ask if you're from the north, from the south, or from the east or the west when you go to buy fuel. And so if you're from certain regions, they sell at a different price to you. It doesn't happen like killers come. They don't ask what tribe you are, what religion you practice. A lot of times they just do what they do. So put aside your sentiment and choose the right person to serve this country and to serve you, not those who are bigger than you. Someone said the only reason Nigeria is where it is because we place so much priority on the people rather than building, systems. So, for instance, if you he used an analogy of a plane, and if you're in the plane and you want to land, and the landing gear refuses to come up, and you are the best pilots in the world, at that time, whether you like it or not, you're probably bound to crash if nothing happens. If the gear doesn't come out, it doesn't matter if you're the best pilots in the world, you're probably going to crash. And that's what we are dealing with. Because we don't have systems that work, everyone that comes in, no matter how good they are, they would suffer. So let's find people who would build real systems that can help us turn around the fortunes of this country. And that's where I'm going to drop the anchors this morning. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of the conversation this morning. Let's do what we can. The online registration has ended. If you haven't done the physical registration, please go out and do it. Go out and complete the process. Get your card. That's the one thing that says you have done your part towards changing the course of this country. Be a part of the process. And don't just leave it to certain people. Don't leave it to other people. Join the political party. Join the movement. Turn things around. Contribute to change in this country. Because change, they say, begins with you. And I'll leave you now in the hands of Olije right after business news. Olije, good morning. What's happening with you?
Everything is good.
You're right? Yeah.
So Power Hour. Let me just quickly ask you.
Yeah.
Power Hour. I didn't ask you for last week. I can't even remember what we had last week.
Was it for Jesus? Was it the Battle of Jesus?
Yeah, was it Battle of the Producers? My God, I can't remember.
Okay.
But today, Techno and Mr. Easy. Who would you?
It's gotta be Techno for me.
It's gonna be Techno for you. Why?
Techno is a producer. Techno's